Hey guys, my name's Lyndi and I'm here today with baluyoga to teach you a beginner's class. This class is suitable for absolutely anybody. There might be some things, if you're brand new to the practice, that you don't fully know or understand. That's okay. Please join us. Let this feel good in your body, and let this be a little bit of an exploration about how it feels to move with your breath. So to begin, you might want to get a couple of blocks ready, or books if you don't have blocks, just something to elevate the height of your arms when we do some lunges and stuff like that. I like to call it arm extenders. You might want a blanket or a foam block to put under your knee if you have sensitive knees. And otherwise, I invite you to take the next 30 minutes or so and let it be about you. So when you're ready, you can find a comfortable seat. You can even move the fleshy bits out from your sit bones so that you can really ground down into the mat. And just start to take a couple nice big breaths, sighing as you exhale. You can begin to draw navel to spine and lengthen through the torso, and really invite that breath to move all the way into the diaphragm, filling both the diaphragm and the lungs. And then exhaling for as long as you inhaled. Giving your body an invitation to release tension in areas that you might feel it. Check in with your forehead. Relax that area, relax your jaw. Draw your shoulders up by your ears, back, and let the shoulder blades fall down the back body in another invitation to release tension. It's from this space here where you can start to pay attention to how you're feeling. Notice if there's any emotions that have been coming up, or other physical tensions in your body that you'd like to invite space into. This may even be a time in your practice where you set an intention for this class. Move through simple poses, continuously coming back to our breath. If you chose to set an intention, I invite this to be a place that you come back to throughout our class today. When you're ready, you can bring your hands to heart center and begin to rub them together. Rub them until you feel heat. And then when you're ready, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let the heels of your palms rest on your eyes. And just allow the eyelids to start to open here. Start to let a little bit of light in. And when you're ready, you can begin to roll over hands and knees and make your way into a tabletop position. We're going to start by bringing hands under shoulders, knees under hips. You might feel more balanced by tucking your toes, or you may prefer to press the tops of your feet down into the mat. And draw shoulder blades together here and inner thighs towards the back of your mat. And then on your next inhale, you can start to drop the belly and lift the gaze. As you exhale, round the spine. Draw the navel up towards the ceiling, crown of the head towards the ground. Following your own pace of breath here, moving through cat-cow as a way to start to wake up your spine. Allowing the breaths to move all the way down through the belly. And letting the exhales release all the air that you have inside. After your next exhale, you can come back to center. Draw navel to spine here. Core is engaged. We're going to keep right hand and left leg rooted down on the mat. And on your next inhale, you can extend your right leg and your left arm in opposite directions. Draw the heel of your right hand towards the back of the mat and the knee of the left leg towards the front of the mat. Big breath in here. And as you exhale again, round your spine. Draw knee to elbow under chest and extend back out. Doing this 2 more times, following your own pace of breath. Coming back to the mat and switching to the other side. So left palm and right knee root down as you inhale, right arm and left leg in opposite directions. Exhale to round the spine. Inhale to extend. Exhale to round. Coming back to the mat. You're going to tuck the toes if they aren't already. Take your knees wide, and then as you untuck your toes here, let your next exhale bring your belly in between your thighs for a child's pose. If this feels a little bit difficult through your hips or on your knees, you can always roll your blanket and put it on top of your heels to allow some support here for your hips to touch down. Notice what happens here when you press your forehead into the mat. This is an area of the body where naturally starts to release tension, calm the mind when you press into the third eye. Start to invite some side bending here. So on your next inhale, reach those fingertips a little bit closer to the front of the mat, and as you exhale, start to walk your hands and your shoulders over towards the right. Feeling a nice big stretch through the left side body, away from the armpit to the hip. Invite your breath there. Next inhale, you can come back to center, and as you exhale, extend over to the other side. Breathing into the side stretch now through the right side body. Inhaling to come back to center. You're going to bring the knees back under the hips. Tuck your toes. Plant your hands just a little bit beyond your shoulders. And on your next inhale, begin to lift the knees and start to press the hips up and back into a downward dog. You can keep your knees slightly bent here. Walk your dog a little bit from side to side. Hands can be shoulder distance apart. Feet can be hip distance apart. Just move here in a way that feels good. Starting to invite some space through the back of the legs. Bring shoulder blades together to keep ears away from shoulders. And then as you press into both palms, start to slowly walk your feet, little step by little step, up to the top of the mat. When you get there, root down into both feet and gently inhale to halfway lift. Root down, and as you exhale forward, fold here. Let the crown of the head hang. Inhale and start to roll yourself up to standing, stacking vertebrae by vertebrae as you make your way to Tadasana. into Tadasana as you root down into both feet. Inhale to sweep the arms up. And again, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, plant your hands, stepping back into a plank. Now, you're welcome to come down to your knees. If you do so, place the weight above your kneecaps with your feet bent towards the ceiling. If you choose to move through high plank, that's also suitable. Stack your heels over the balls of your feet. And everyone draw shoulder blades together and navel to spine. Take a deep breath in as you shift forward, and as you exhale, lower slowly all the way down to the mat. Elbows by rib cage. Untucking the toes when you get there. Press the tops of the feet down. Inhale up into cobra. Press into your palms a little bit. And exhale to release. Plant your hands here, tuck your toes. Press from a low plank back into a child's pose this time with your knees under your chest, bringing your hands towards the back of the mat. 3 breaths here. Planting your hands back in front of you, start to shift forward into that tabletop, and then inhale and shift the hips up and back. Walk your dog out again. And then start to walk to the top of the mat. You're down into both feet here. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw those sit bones away from you as you draw the crown of the head towards the front of the mat, and exhale here to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, another big forward fold. Bending your knees enough that your belly rests on your thighs. Inhale, sweeps the arms up to the ceiling, and exhale, hands to heart center. Maybe coming back to that intention you chose to set, or just coming back to that feeling of your breath moving in and out. Inhale, sweeps the arms up, and as we exhale next, we're going to fold, grabbing your blocks or your books, and just bring them on either side of your feet. We're going to take the right foot behind and drop it down to the mat. This may be a point when you would like to use your blanket or a chip foam block if you have that. And you can just put it under your lower knee if you have sensitive knees. We're going to use these blocks here as arm extenders, and start to invite some space here through the right leg by simply drawing the left hip gently back, left knee stacked over left ankle. And let the exhales allow the pelvis to lower a little closer to the ground. Inhale, bringing the blocks or your books with you. You're going to start to shift your hips back over your right knee, keeping those hips in line. Activate your left foot. You may or may not straighten your left leg completely as you work your way into half splits or half Hanumanasana. Now inhale here and halfway lift, squeezing those shoulder blades gently together, and lead with your chest so your sit bones will go away from you and your belly will come towards your thigh. You might lower the height of your blocks. Maybe you choose to bring your fingertips right to the ground. Keep drawing left hip back. And let the exhales be how you create more space here. Next inhale, you're going to bring your weight back into that front foot. Tent the fingers on either side of the left foot, and then step your right foot up to the top of the mat to meet it. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeps the arms up. Exhale, back into a forward fold. Tent the fingers, and this time step your left foot back. You can bring your left knee down to that blanket if you chose to use one or not. Bend into your right knee so that your right knee is stacked over your right ankle. Tuck your back toes and draw your right hip back and left hip forward. Think about a big open chest. And as you exhale here, start to lower the pelvis enough to feel that nice stretch through the front of the left leg, through your right hip. Come back to your breath. That's what happens through these layers of tension as you just let your breath be your primary focus. Inhale here to shift your hips back over your left knee. Activate your right foot. Let the toes face the ceiling as you press the ball of the foot towards the earth. Draw right hip back and left hip forward. Find that long torso. And then on your next exhale, again, start to think about bringing the belly closer to the thigh, finding a nice stretch in the hamstring. You can leave a micro bend in your extended leg, or if you have more flexibility than me, it might go more straight. And just let the breath go into the areas that need some help releasing. Next inhale, start to shift that weight back into your right foot. Move the blocks or your books, lift your back knee, and then step to the top of your mat. Down into both feet and inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Roll yourself back up to standing. And we're going to work on a little bit of balancing. So if you need a wall as support, then please use that. Otherwise, I invite you to, we're going to work on some balancing. So I invite you to ground down into both feet. We're actually going to lift all 10 toes up off the ground. As you do this, you can bring your hands to your hips to just feel that they're both in line with one another. Lift your kneecaps and draw your inner thighs towards the back of the room. Navel to spine, feel that core engagement. Big breath in here, lifts your sternum, lifts your chest. And exhale. And let that exhale ground you onto your mat. Lowering one toe at a time. Spread those toes wide. We're going to come into tree pose. We're going to bring our hands to our hips, root down into both feet, and lower your toes. Lift your kneecaps here and draw your inner thighs to the back of the room. As you draw navel to spine, feel that core engagement. And then from here, on your next inhale, allow that torso to lengthen a little more. Shift your weight to your left foot and lift your right knee up to hip height. Doing a couple ankle circles in one direction and then in the other. And then draw your right knee out to the side of the room. You can place your right toes on the ground for a little bit of extra balance or support. You can press your right foot into your left calf, the inside of your left calf, or with the help of your right hand, you can even put your right foot on the inner left calf. Wherever it lands, press your left leg into your right foot and your right foot into your left leg. And then with those hands back on your hips, see if you need to lift your right foot and ground down a little bit more into your left foot so that they're even. You can reach those fingertips down towards the earth. This is with your fingertips active, this can be a great way to help increase your balance. And if you feel like exploring a little bit more challenge in your balancing pose, you're welcome to open up your branches. Even lift your sternum and maybe gently find a back bend where your gaze follows the ceiling slightly. Keep rooting down into that left foot. And when you're ready, inhale back to center. Bring hands to heart center. Release your right leg and come to Tadasana. Allow your eyes to close for a breath here. Feel the sensations in your left leg. Know that they will pass with your exhales. When you're ready, bringing your hands back to your hips, Finding that strong, tall Tadasana, rooting the weight into the right foot this time. You can lift your left knee up to hip height and do some ankle circles here in one direction and then in the other. Draw your left knee out to the side of the room. And choose the same variation as you did on the other side. Toes either touch the ground as you press your left foot into your leg. You can press your left foot into your right calf. Or using your left hand to help, you can place your left foot on the inner right thigh. Wherever you're at, root down into your right foot and lift your right kneecap. Keep your standing legs strong and active. And then decide what adjustments you need to do in the hips to keep them square and root your fingertips towards the earth. Maybe you open up your branches towards the ceiling, and maybe you even inhale, lifting the sternum and finding that little back bend as you take your gaze along the ceiling. Big breaths here, all the way into the diaphragm. Inhaling back to center. Release your left leg and slowly come back to Tadasana. Resisting the urge to fidget here, you can close your eyes or soften your gaze. Relax your jaw and come back to your breath. Big breath in. And as you exhale, begin to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Plant your hands and step back to your version of plank. Whether it's high plank or low plank. Shoulder blades draw together, navel to spine. Inhale to shift forward. And exhale to lower again, all the way down. When you touch the mat, press the tops of the feet down and gently peel your chest up in a cobra. Exhale to release. Plant your hands here, tuck your toes, press yourself up and back, finding that child's pose again. And this time, finding a little more space into the shoulders, you can bring your hands into prayer above your head. Just allowing 3 nice breaths here. Noticing what comes up. And then allowing yourself to let go of the thoughts that are no longer serving you. Slowly start to walk yourself back up to seated. And take your blanket or chip foam block to sit on. I'm going to come to our seat. Extend your legs out in front of you. Come into a forward fold here. So as you root down into both sit bones, feel that lift through the chest. It might feel nice to lift your shoulders up by your ears, back and down. And then we're going to think about leading the sit bones away and the chest forward or the belly towards the thigh. So big breath in. As you exhale with that flat back, start to walk forward. Your toes can face the ceiling here. You might have a micro bend in your knees, or if you need some extra support for your knees, if that feels tricky, you can pile a pillow or a blanket underneath just to make it feel a little bit easier. Choose to grab the outside edges of each foot if you have the space, or take your peace fingers around your 2 big toes. Keep drawing your chest in between your arms and start to bend your elbows out to the sides of the room. Now when you're ready to come back up to center, shift your weight off of your chip foam block and come to lay on your back here. Drawing the knees in towards the chest. Start to do some nice big circles with the hips. You can change directions. When it feels appropriate for you, bring your feet to the mat, knees stacked over ankles. Press the back of the head into the mat and draw shoulder blades down your spine. You might feel your heels here with your fingertips and draw navel to spine, activating those quad muscles. Take a deep breath in, and on your next inhale, start to lift the hips, coming into a bridge pose. You may choose to keep those palms planted down on the mat and lift your hips higher, or maybe you want to open up through the shoulders a little more by interlacing your fingers under your sacrum, pointing your pointer fingers towards your feet. Everyone, come back to that deep breath. The inhales can lift the hips higher, and the exhales, allow them to soften your jaw. One more big breath in. Release the hands on the exhale and come back to the mat. Hands to belly. Take your feet wide and let your knees fall in together. And just allow a couple breaths here in stillness. Your feet back under your knees. Inhale your left leg up to the ceiling. As you exhale, take your left ankle over your right thigh, keeping your left foot active. I'm going to draw the left knee away from you. And this might be your variation. You might feel this enough in the hip that this is where you want to stay. The next variation is to use a block under your right foot and still stay here in a pretty chill breath pace. Or you can start to draw your right knee in towards your chest, wrap your hands around the back of your right thigh, still keeping that left foot active, and begin to draw that right knee in closer to the chest. Wherever you land, land with your full focus. Let your breath move all the way down to the belly on the inhales, and let all of that air, that breath, that prana be released on the exhales. Bring your arms out into cactus and bring your right foot back to the floor. Take a deep breath in, and as we exhale here, you're going to move your left foot and your right knee at the same time. So the sole of the left foot comes to the mat, or I guess comes to the floor off of your mat. And this, start to feel in the outside of the left hip, the IT band. You may choose to keep the knee facing the ceiling, or you might start to draw that left knee towards your right shoulder. Now, play with this pose and find the best spot for you, the most tension-releasing spot for your body today. Keeping in mind that it's not always the same as it was yesterday or last week. Allow this to be an exploration of where there's tension and how you can help your body release it. Release that left knee, navel to spine. Use an inhale to bring your left, both legs back to center, and switch sides. So you can bring your left foot to the mat, inhale right leg up to the ceiling, and choose a variation that works for you on this side. So your right foot is active, knee draws away from you. Maybe left foot stays on the ground, maybe left foot goes on top of a block. Or maybe on your next inhale, you draw your left knee in towards your chest. Wherever you land, invite your breath into the areas that feel tight. Your right hip, right glute. the lips to fall apart here and the teeth to even separate from one another. Take top and bottom, fully relaxing the jaw. Big breath in. Exhale here, releases the left foot to the mat, arms into cactus. Another inhale. Exhale brings the left knee and the right foot over to the left. And again, playing with where that right knee lands to find the best variation for you. Releasing your right knee, draw navel to spine, inhale back to center. And then release your right leg back to the mat. And use your feet to push any props out of the way. And when you're ready, I'm going to draw those knees back into the chest one last time. Might feel nice here to rock a little bit from side to side. Or find a happy baby where you widen your knees beyond your body. Lift your feet so they're above your knees, and then you can walk your hands up your shins and either use your ankles or your shins to pull your knees towards the earth, or you can grab the outside edge of each foot and pull those knees towards the earth. Press into the back of the head here, and also press the tailbone down towards the ground, finding that long spine. You might choose to rock from side to side or stay still. Feel good to extend one leg out and then the other. When you're ready, in your own time, I invite you to start to walk your feet out. Extend your arms out to away from your hips, so palms face the ceiling here. Allow the shoulder blades to draw down the back body, draw navel to spine. Soften the jaw. Close your eyelids. And invite your eyeballs to become still. Take a deep breath in. Reconnect with that intention if you chose to set one. Reconnect with your breath. And slowly exhale. A nice big sigh. Into Shavasana. And in Shavasana, you're welcome to stay here for as long as you'd like. Anywhere from a couple minutes up to 10 feels great. Allowing the body to fully relax. Feel supported by what's beneath you. And allow the benefits of your practice to fully settle in.